How to remember? Well, very, very good. Very good, yeah.
Yes, of course, because usually we're so hypnotized by the world in considering the world to be real and being busy with doing something in or about the world. We forget to see who or what am I. And so, yes, it has to all be let go of. It has to all disappear to really dare, to really take that risk of turning inside and letting it all go, letting it all disappear. And then from there, of course, arises a new, fresh seeing and interacting with that world that does appear.
Yeah, of course, the trees don't suddenly disappear off the landscape.
No, they don't, but suddenly you can appreciate them in a whole new way. You know, it's like, wow, tree, not separate from this being either.
It's interesting because it seems very hard for people generally to really see how much they're attached to the world. You know?
Which is to their concept of the world, really, because the truth is, the sad truth in that is we don't actually perceive the world as long as we're attached to it. We cannot actually see and fully appreciate it.
We only perceive our thoughts about the world normally, yeah? Because there is not really a world which is a world. It's just really, if we look at a tree, we think tree, the name, the notion in our mind, it's a representation of something which is out there, and we think we know that's a tree. But that's really a very limited understanding, only the mind interpretation. There is no world, there is our thoughts about our interpretations, our mind, it makes up the world. And therefore, yes, this naming, these notions, the concepts of the world has to disappear, which means there has to be a moment of stillness. The mind has to relax. And when this is the typical phenomena, when we have a glimpse that our mind comes to rest. Yeah? It just really, for a moment, gets transparent, or it really totally falls down. And then, then something else shines through. Yeah? If this is deep enough, if this is really recognized as what it is, there is self-realization, the deeper self. And then maybe the world comes again, which means thoughts come again, notions, and when they are seen from this deep, from this depth, then there is no problem with the world even. But if we are entangled in the world and want to change it and only are busy with that, the self is overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, I think somehow in as far as I can feel in the West, this is really a very dense situation. It's really hard in a big city to let go of the world, to come to this innocence in a way. I would use the word, I think, innocence.
Yeah, that's a beautiful word for that. There's a fresh openness, innocence.
And maybe one of the attractions to go to somewhere like Thailand or India is that there is something there which makes it easier for Western people, maybe.
That's true. In a way, that probably is a letting go of our world as we know it, and that makes it easier then.
Well, there's probably a cultural effect. If you are confronted with a total different culture, your mind even falls down. It's much more fresh, you know. It's not all going in its old ways, because it's something totally different, the people behave or the landscape. And there is some effect there. Like there is an effect when we go just in nature, even here in the Western world, just going to natural sense impressions, and there is also a calming down of the mind, often. But of course,
even rearranging the furniture, you know, in one's apartment can
this
create some kind of realization.
But of course, it's in the end, it's not abhängig, not dependent on the surroundings. But at first, sometimes it's very good to have surroundings which really support this letting go.